Prominent gun control advocates compare firearms owners to Nazis. Now, this is just more of what we've heard. We've heard that if you own a firearm, you're KKK, you're racist, you're whatever, and now these people are saying that you're a Nazi. The event was labeled a forum for guns and public safety and a space for real conversation. However, it quickly became clear that the organizers were in favor of strict gun control. Speakers included Mark Walsh, campaign director for the Illinois Council Against Handgun Violence. Why do they even have a council? Lee Goodman for the Stop Concealed Carry Coalition. Oh, I'm sure good things are being done there. And Northfield resident Jennifer Bishop Jenkins of the Million Moms March, and her husband, author and gun control advocate Bill Jenkins. Things really got heated, however, when Jenkins displayed a photograph of a Nazi rally on screen with the title, "This is what a gun show looks like." And just more of the same that we've been seeing. You see things like the Stop Concealed Carry Coalition. I mean, you guys have nothing better to do. But anyway, speaking of things that people did have better things to do, this past weekend, people went to their local Capitol buildings and expressed their concern over the 23 Obama executive actions. And one of the people at these so-called rallies was a gentleman who attended Tiananmen Square. He was a live witness to the tragedies that happened there. So let's take a look at that clip.
23 years ago, I was a freshman year at college. I was exercising my freedom of speech and assembly in Tiananmen Square. When a government turns criminal, when a government turns deranged, the body count will not be 5, 10, or even 20. It will be in the hundreds, like in Tiananmen Square. It will be in the millions, as proved by the 90-year rule of the Chinese Communist Party.
So a stern warning from somebody who actually faced down communism in Tiananmen Square, and I believe we have some footage that we can show you right there. And this guy, he said the Chinese government has things in their constitution such as free speech, which is all laughable. You heard the people laugh in that footage. And also things, he said, the rifle is not for sporting, it's not for hunting, it's a tool of freedom. Yes, you can use it for sporting and hunting, but you can also use it to defend yourself. You can go target shoot or whatever you want to do with it. It's not about, you know, this gun kills people. It's about, this is my right to have it. We have this right, and there's an example of somebody saying, don't give up your rights. Now, we move now to our last story. TSA not eliminating X-ray body scanners. You guys probably saw the report last week where we talked about, you know, in some way, it was a victory to get these things out of the airports. We kind of had a feeling that they were going to try to pull something, and yes, they did. Let's take a look. Contrary to reports last week that the TSA is eliminating its expensive fleet of X-ray body scanners from airports, the federal agency signed a contract months ago with a separate company to provide this very same machines. However, the TSA merely announced that it had ended its $5 million contract with Rapiscan. Not that the X-ray devices will be gone for good. In addition, the Rapiscan machines will merely be relocated to other government agencies. Get ready to see those other places. The TSA will also continue to use its millimeter wave scanners that pose a threat to health because they emit terahertz photons, which can, quote, unzip DNA. That pretty much to me sounds like something out of Star Trek. They're trying to unzip your DNA. And yeah, the more of what the same you always hear. Always take these reports with a grain of salt. We figured they were going to try to do something. I thought they were going to get rid of the scanners and do a more hands-on pat-down, but it seems like they have something worse. They just traded companies, pretty much, so to speak. So continue to film the TSA, film your pat-downs, and keep fighting for your freedom. Now, this is actually our last story. I jumped the gun a little bit. Now, this is an example of, you know, I support the troops, but we shouldn't support them blindly, meaning we shouldn't ignore things like this. Air Force calls number of sexual assaults appalling. General Mark Welsh, the Air Force Chief of Staff, said that there were 796 reported cases ranging from inappropriate touching to rape. The 2012 figure is nearly 30% increase from the 2011 when there were 614 cases reported. Welsh's testimony before the House of Armed Committee Services underscores the challenges it and many other military branches face when it comes to stopping sexual assaults. And what's really disturbing about this, the article points out, many of these sexual assaults were done by fellow airmen. That's why I'm saying, you know, you can support the troops, but don't turn a blind eye to things like this. People are being sexually assaulted, being raped. And it's not just women. Some of these are men, too. Those cases are much less reported. But it happens to men as well, and definitely hope that these people can get some justice, because these are the people protecting us. We should fight to protect their freedoms while they are protecting us. Now let's move now to our quote of the day. This from our Vice President and Chief Gun Grabber, Joe Biden. Barack Obama ain't taking my shotguns, so don't buy that malarkey. If he tries to fool with my Beretta, he's got a problem. That from Joe Biden back in 2008. And I'm sure Barack Obama won't fool with Mr. Biden's Beretta, because as we know, they do selectively enforce these gun grabs. They will stay, I'm sure, armed with their bodyguards and whatever else kind of security they have, while you, the peasant citizen, are disarmed of your rights, saying that you don't need things such as a pump-action shotgun, as the Senate in Illinois has pointed out, and you don't need just basic things to defend yourself. So I'm sure Mr. Biden will have no problem keeping his Beretta. Now that does it for the news portion of our program. After this break, I'll be back here in studio with Melissa Melton. She'll be breaking down various crime statistics. I know you guys heard a lot of things from various pundits and talk shows saying, this is what the crime statistic is, no, this is what it is. So she's going to be here in studio to break it down. She was also on the Alex Jones radio show explaining that as well. But if you'd like to support our broadcast, stop by prisonplanet.tv, get yourself a subscription. You can also get a free trial. And also, you can see the New Year's membership, the $39.99 special. Many great reports. You saw David Ortiz right there, many special reports and different things that you can look at on there. And also stop by the InfoWars shop and pick up the InfoWars magazine. And we'll be back right after this message with Melissa Melton.
I really enjoy it when the globalists try to poison us, and, well, we resist them via a free market system. Hello, my fellow Info Warriors. Alex Jones here, introducing you to the ProPure family of gravity-fed filters. Now, you know that the globalists are filling our water with radioactive isotopes, fluoride, lead, mercury, arsenic. And one of the few systems that can efficiently and economically remove or reduce down to non-detectable levels these poisons are gravity-fed filters. And ProPure is the top of the line. Their filters are impregnated with silver, a natural antibiotic. On top of that, they're bigger, so they filter faster. You don't have to prime these the first time you use them. It's amazing. Go to Infowars.com and click on the shopping cart link to see the entire family of these babies. Now, the fluoride they add to our water is so tiny that most filters can't cut it out. But ProPure has their system that will, again, reduce it to non-detectable levels, almost get all of it out of there. That's also available. And if you look at the different systems they offer, the ProPure Big Brush Finish is on a stand, so it's easier on a table or at your restaurant or wherever you have it to go up with a glass or a mug and fill it up. Then there's this big baby right here, the ProPure King large version. Got a lot of different options that come with it. Also, they have the ProPure Big, probably one of the best values out there. And of course, it's burnished stainless steel. And then what I use on my RV, something that's great for your hunting cabin or the back porch, is the ProPure Traveler. Small and portable, but packs a huge punch, cleans out all that garbage. They also have a glass sight spigot, so you don't have to take the top off and look in the bottom area to see how much water. You can see how fast it's filtering with this optional system. The globalists obviously are hitting us through our water. It's time to take control of our lives. It's time to not give our children and families these poisons, and these systems cut it down to non-detectable levels across the board. ProPure is the name. I only promote what I believe in. And I use ProPure in my home and my office. And I recommend that you check out the information on ProPure at Infowars.com. We already have the lowest price at Infowars.com on the ProPure gravity filter system. But when you add in the 10% off when InfoWarriors use the product code WATER at Infowars.com, nobody can top it. So again, it's a win-win-win. Stop drinking the poison water. checkmate the globalists when it comes to your health, and support Infowars.com and the work we're doing here. You know, many revolutionaries rob banks and things and kidnap people for funds. We promote in the free market the products we use that are about preparedness. That's how we fund this revolution against the New World Order in our move to restore our constitutional republic and a spirit of 1776 worldwide. Check it out at Infowars.com. ProPure, top of the line, #1, most powerful and effective and economical gravity-fed water system in the world. ProPure, available, discounted at Infowars.com. Don't forget product code WATER to save 10%. It's the latest generation, years in development. ProPure is the name.
Christy Hightower here with a quick Planet Infowars update. I want to start this off with a quick quote from Thomas Edison. Now, there are 3 great essential things to achieve anything worthwhile. First, hard work. Second, stick-to-itness. Now, I don't know if that's technically a word, but stick-to-itness. And 3, common sense. Now, I think this last one we all know is not quite so common. And that actually takes us to our first article that I want to feature. It's Too Big to Fail or Too Big to Succeed. This is by Blue, and he basically just kind of rants a little bit about the big banks and how we were tricked and told that, you know, they're too big to fail, our lives are going to be changed forever. Well, he proposes the idea of the free market, essentially. Too big to succeed, they all fail, and what springs up in its place but small business owners? People that come to the table, they bring something that changes things, that makes things better. So go comment on that, and I'd like to read those comments, actually, kind of what your strategy is or what your thoughts are on that. And the next article I actually want to touch on is called Licensed to Live. And this is actually by Iron Eagle. And it basically says, did you notice there's a license for this, there's a permit for that, there's a certificate you have to achieve for that. He kind of touches on the idea that, you know, half these things you can just simply be an apprentice, like, you know, plumbing or welding or shoot, even being a doctor, I guess. They all have to be apprentices. So he actually does talk about the only license that kind of makes sense are for the public health. But then there's that line, that gray zone. So go and read that article, Licensed to Live, in the economics section. So this actually kind of, I started it out a little different, but the very end of this last segment, I wanted to touch on the mission in the Dating Freedom Lovers group. I'm really excited because February 14th is coming up, so everyone's looking for love. The Patriots, you know, you don't want to be lonely. Nobody likes to be lonely. And, well, anyways, it's really hard, especially when you're awake, to find somebody that you can talk to and connect to about certain ideas. So it actually takes us to the Dating Freedom Lovers group. And check it out. This is actually Daphne. She was part of our initial Planet Infowars launch. So I figured it's fitting that I put her on this update. But basically, send us your picture. It'll go where her, where her picture is, and your name. And try to keep it under 150 characters if you can, because there's only so much room. So she just kind of gave a quick description. This is what I'm looking for. This is who I am. And then contact her. So make sure that when you do the mission, send us your username, which is the @DiscoDaphne for her. And just send your picture, quick little details, and your username to mods, M-O-D-S, _love @Infowars.com. And we'll take a look at it, we'll put it together, and we'll hopefully get to change them out every day, maybe even a couple of times a day if we get enough of them. So far, really good response. Thank you guys for sending them in. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It's making me really happy to see all these people like excited about who they are and excited about who they want to meet. And so I look forward to those. Patriots, keep on talking, because we're listening.